I love getting silhouettes that I haven't had before, especially when they look this good. Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your old pal Mr. Butter coming back at you. I'm actually really pumped to get into this pair of kicks today. I don't see many people talking about them at all. Stick around to the end because I want to throw them on feet, talk about sizing, show you how they look, that sort of thing. But today I would like to get into the Asics EX89. If you're into kicks and you feel like hanging out, then hit that subscribe button. Let's take a look at these Asics. So Asics isn't really a brand that I'm extremely familiar with. My memories of Asics from being a kid and in high school and that sort of thing all revolved around like the gel, I believe it was like the Gel Light series, which continues to evolve today. I think it was the Gel Light 3 that was the biggest back in the day, and I could be off on that, but I think it was the one that was split up the middle. And like I said, I'm not super knowledgeable about Asics, so forgive me, correct me in the comments. You know, I'm just saying what I think. But anyhow, it came with a plain brown box. And I guess worth mentioning, this is the EX89, which is actually kind of like a retro version of a shoe that they had in '89, and I think it was called the Gel Extreme. So gel is the type of cushioning that kind of put Asics on the map. I actually have a pair of Asics gel. It's like 180s or something like that. While this shoe does not have any gel cushioning in it, I believe that they made them look like or modeled them after the Gel Extremes, which originally came out in '89. The tag reads EX89 and the colors are white and Grand Shark. Am I reading that right? Yeah, white and Grand Shark. This is a US size 10. Retail price on these was $110, but I actually had a coupon from ordering that pair of gel shoes that I was talking about. So I was all in less than $100 for these. And without further delay, look at these things. I'll tell you what, from an overall shape and silhouette standpoint, these things take me back. I mean, they really do a good job with giving you that late 80s, early 90s feel, both with the colors, but also I just feel like they nailed the shape of this toe box. Like, it comes out pretty wide, but then as it comes up to the upper of the shoe, it just looks so streamlined. Like, it gets nice and kind of thin as it comes up, and it really just gives you that late 80s, early 90s feeling just because of the shape of the shoe. But along with that, the colors, the pretty simple white, blue, and gray colorway, these things just really take me back, even though it's not a silhouette that I can recall from my childhood. It just definitely gives me that overall feeling of an 80s shoe. A lot of people have been saying on the channel lately that, you know, they're kind of tired of seeing dunk reviews, Jordan 1 low reviews, and for the most part, that's what we get a whole lot of all the time. I've really been excited lately because shoes like the Reebok 4002, I think that's a really good retro basketball silhouette. I also think that the Slipstream, the Puma Slipstream, is a really good retro basketball silhouette. And now here once again, Asics has given us a really reasonably priced retro basketball influence low top, and they've got a lot of colorways available on their website. They're easy to get, but it's something that you don't see everybody else wearing. Sometimes I like standing out a little bit and just looking a little bit more unique. I like that these look so dope, but it's a different option than just Nikes or what everybody else sees all the time. Getting into the outsole, you can see that it definitely does give you that 80s feeling just with that tread pattern. It does have that kind of pivot point or suction cup area, and just the tread really reminds me of like Adidas Rivalries and maybe even some New Balance 550s or that sort of thing. But it really just looks like other shoes from that time period of the late 80s, early 90s. And it's just simple. It's cream colored. It looks like in the front we have a little bit of white, but then we have this nice, I guess that's the shark color. But I think these things look great. Even the outsole looks good, and I'm all about that. But then coming up to the midsole area, you can see that that cream color kind of just comes up to meet the upper of the shoe. You can see these little hits of gray from the side of the shoe, and I think that's a nice little accent. We have a little bit of Asics branding here towards the back. And I like the way there's like this cutout. I think that probably helps with the cushioning under the heel, but I also just like the way that that looks. I think that's really neat on the butt end of it. It looks like going along that midsole, we also have some like sail or off-white stitching to match that midsole rubber. And then at the heel, we also have this heel counter at the base, and that's in a cream color as well. And again, this heel anchor is another part that reminds me of other 80s retro basketball silhouettes like Forums, New Balance 550s, and that sort of thing. But then getting to the upper of the shoe, you can see that for the base of the upper and most of the overlays, we just have a white synthetic leather. And while it is a synthetic leather, I like the feel of this more than what I like that on GR Dunk Lows or Jordan 1 GRs that just have that synthetic leather. It definitely doesn't feel like a natural material, and it is without a doubt synthetic, but it feels softer than what we get on mids, lows, Dunk Lows, that sort of thing. Just like we're used to seeing from retro 80s basketball shoes, the toe box has a bunch of perforations. And then we also get perforations on the side within these blue synthetic leather stripes. And they kind of have a border of like a gray that is created by having another piece of material underneath of those blue stripes. And I think that's nice looking. Then on the back, we have some Asics branding and blue stitching to match these stripes on the side. And our tongue isn't like a standard nylon tongue. It almost feels like more of a mesh material. And it also feels a little bit more padded than what we're used to getting for like Dunks or Jordan 1s. And it's in a white color. It's got white piping going along the edges of it. And then at the top, it's got a white tag with gray Asics branding on it. I also like that they balanced out the gray outsole and the little hits of gray on these blue sections, and then on the tag with a gray sock liner. I'm glad it's not bright white, because a lot of times when we get a bright white sock liner, it just gets stained from jeans and socks and that sort of thing real quick. So I'm glad that that's a gray color, and I really just think that it brings a lot of balance to the shoe. I also just love the profile of these from the side. They are just really, really good looking. I think from the top down they look great, but then I also think from the side, that's just a really dope looking shoe to me. The insole is a Ortholite insole, and it's white, and it's got some navy blue Asics branding down on there. I ran through that part pretty quick, but that's because I want to throw these on feet, show y'all how they look, and talk about sizing. So I'll be right back. All right, so I am back. I got them on feet. Right off the bat, I will say they have a little bit more snug of a fit than Dunk Lows or Jordan 1 Lows. It almost feels like they have a better fit. It's not anything that feels like it would cause rubbing, but they just feel really secure on your foot. The ankle area in the back seems like it's more padded. I love the way that they look. I love the way that they feel on foot. They really are cushioned, and they definitely have that late 80s, early 90s style. I love getting silhouettes that I haven't had before, especially when they look this good. And like I said, they have a bunch of different colorways of these on the Asics website. That's where I ordered these from. But they are $110, which I think is a reasonable price for these shoes. And if you're lucky, then maybe you can get a coupon or a discount code to use with them too. Definitely have those retro 80s, 90s basketball vibes. Like I mentioned during the review, I really like that top down look. I love the shape of them. Let me know in the comments what you all think about these, and if you've ever worn Asics before. I really like this pair, and I think this is a pair that I'll wear a good bit this summer. So hopefully y'all got a good look at these Asics EX89s. I really like this silhouette, and I think this is perfect for everyday wear with summer coming in and all that sort of thing. I appreciate y'all watching so much, and I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out.